with the Rex, with Kendrick. Future grocery bags. Okay?
I hope he do it.
So do I. I mean, well, even if you don't get,
He don't take no money, do he?
no. He wouldn't do that. So think about it. He does so few birth, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not just doing verses, like,
Right. But that's
the only other person that gets a Kendrick versus King is Baby King, and that's with, like, his cousin or his nephew or something.
right. Getting out damn verses to this nigga, man. Look at you doing, crazy. All that fake, I ain't getting no rapper song shit. I don't be liking them type nigga like that.
Why?
These niggas get too big. I don't want to do no feature. Why? Why you don't want to do no feature? Why wouldn't you want to do a feature for a superstar? Like, you ain't like goddamn Street calling you for a song, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you really got Lil Durk calling you for a song. Lil Baby, Dub, real superstar calling you for a song. Why wouldn't you do the song? We lit and we going number one too. Fuck you thinking? You know, it's just like, I don't be understanding that type of shit. Supposed to be a nigga who bless a nigga. That's why them niggas will never be bigger than Drake ever in life. Niggas will never be bigger than Buddy. Buddy gonna fuck with rap. Buddy fuck with everybody. You know how many niggas like Drake can't? How many niggas can take care of their family because of Buddy? Just like straight fucking with you. Kendrick goddamn put a nigga on. Y'all niggas, you're a superstar. You don't ran up here a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even put Keem on. Cause the shit you and him doing, this shit ain't really doing that.
Right.
Put somebody on. It's okay to run you a few hundred M's up, but who you help though? You ain't really help nobody. It's the sad. You did all that shit for nothing. You ain't help nobody. Nigga ain't really gaining no fans off of you. Keem ain't big. Keem good as hell. Man, can't say no fucking shit. Watch out. Like, man, watch out. These was on me. Well, dirt, money bag, savage. I truly believe we'll have your ass dope. Trending like it's gonna be like people in the real world fucking with you. Not the goddamn not the rap world, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real players and cool bitches, lit bitches and players and shit like that fucking with you. Them type of people ain't fucking with you. You gonna get like the real streets and the real people fucking with you. You gonna get the East Coast fucking East Coast ain't fucking with you, bro. You really trying to keep all the blessings to yourself. You really trying to keep everything to yourself. You really sit in the studio and work on the album and don't put nobody on the album. Like, God damn, bro, he ain't gonna fuck with nobody. He ain't gonna bless nobody. Bullshit ass king. Like, but it's like, the hell did you do? You supposed to be fucking with me when I'm dirt. Sam, you supposed to be fucking with us. You supposed to be calling us like, hey man, I want y'all niggas on my album. I'm on some player shit this time around. I'm on some player shit. Like, come on, nigga, damn. I don't know those. These niggas be crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully he do the song though.
Wait for it.
I ain't giving no damn.
Wait for it.
This will still be good.
Yeah, over good. Continue being real, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue being real, man. Stay supportive, right? Put my album covers on, man. Stay supportive, man. All that, man. No pictures, 6 years shit, man. Watch out. You don't care about all that shit, man. Nobody don't give no fuck about none of that. I guarantee your first post you post, that motherfucker gonna do 1 million or 2 million likes. You can get out in the next 15 years. You not gonna get on here and get no million, 100 million likes on your post. Not Kim Kardashian, man. So whatever you call yourself doing with your internet, and if you just want to prove like, oh, I won't be on the internet, what is that proving? What they do? What they do? Instagram is meant for pictures, man. Post your picture, bro. Or just delete your Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's the rarity though. Have fun with that.
So, I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, I became aware of Young Thug this weekend because of these leaks. And when I heard that leak and, a million other of the leaks that he did of him talking about like so-called friends and partners and all that good stuff, I immediately had to find out what his zodiac sign was because I just was feeling like there's got to be some Leo activity in here somewhere. There just has to be some Leo energy in here. And the and the leaks also sent me on a quest to find out about delusion in the chart and where the delusion lives because there just seemed to be so much of that in this conversation. So I want to pull up his chart. Okay, I want to pull up his chart. So he is a Leo sun. So I was not surprised about that at all, obviously, because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the Leo. I just was like, there's got to be some very strong Leo energy in this chart. So if I can get this to work, there we go. All right. So let me clear my throat. Okay. So what do we have here? So the first thing that I saw, because I was like, yep, there it is. There's the Leo. So we have Leo in the 10th house, right? So there's the sun sign right there. So those of you all that follow me, oh, hey, I'm Zoe Flowers. Welcome to my channel. Um, we're doing something new today. So so there's the Leo. We know that Leo is already the star of the zodiac. We know many celebrities are Leos. We know or have strong Leo placements. We know that many politicians have strong Leo placements. We know that Leo is signified by the sun. We know that many Leos, and this is a very, what I'm talking about, this is going to be like the lowest. The lowest vibration of what we're seeing in this person's chart. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about like the higher octaves and what it's going to look like. I'm talking about like what inspired the 35 or 55 or 100 leaks that we got since that we've been getting these prison calls from Young Thug, the rapper out of Atlanta over the past couple of days. And these calls have ranged from obviously him, talking smack about other rappers there. He was talking about Kendrick, right? Not giving him a feature. There's another one where he's talking about Andre 3000. There's another rapper that he's talking about not who didn't give him a feature. There's the latest calls are him confessing that he cheated on his girlfriend of however many years with one of the COs who works in the jail. And he said that the COs give it up faster than UPS delivers packages, I think he said. So, yeah, just him being like, a chatty Ken on the phone to everybody, to his manager, to his girlfriend, to other rappers. He's just talking and talking and talking. I don't know how long he was in jail, but he did a lot of talking. It didn't seem like anybody else could get the phone who was in jail with him, okay, or who was incarcerated with him because he was talking and talking and talking. Like there's a full 30 minutes of him just like shit talking Drake. I mean, okay, deserved. Um, but yeah, just like him talking and talking and talking. So again, what stood out to me was the entitlement, and that told me, ooh, misplaced Leo activity, and then the harsh critique, and then the delusion. That's what sent me to his chart. All right. So, full disclosure. All right. So, we've got the sun in Leo. So, that's all in the 10th house. The 10th house in astrology is like what you're going to be known for, what you're going to be famous for. Right. So, he's already got that 10th house. So, he's already a person who's used to getting a certain amount of attention, comes with the territory. It's in the 10th house. Like, yeah, he's a superstar. And he calls himself a superstar several times, like across different recordings. It's so funny. Okay, so he's allowed, right? 10th house, sun. Like, yeah, he's a superstar in whatever circle he's in. Great. But where else is that Leo acting up? So he's got his sun right next to Jupiter, and we know Jupiter expands whatever it touches. And so what do we have? More Leo. More. You know what? One of the other cards I had pulled for this was oh my goodness, I have to find it. The other, because I pulled a tarot card for him too, um, while he was talking, and it was all about insecurity and attention seeking. So I'll look for it as I'm talking. But yeah, so we've got Jupiter there in the 10th house again, which could be such a lovely placement. I mean, my goodness, what a great chart if used correctly. But we know people make all kinds of choices, and I'm not here to judge. We listen and we don't judge. But we do tarot readings. All right. So we've got Jupiter there, and Jupiter is just giving us more Leo, more entitlement, more attention seeking, more look at me, look at me, look at me. What else do we have? We have Mercury in Virgo. So we know that Virgo is associated with efficiency. A Virgo is associated with work ethic, the things we do every day. What did he do every day? The things you do all the time? Talk on the phone, right? That's what he did day after day after day. And what did he do on those phone calls? Talk shit about his peers. And women, like calling women ugly and talking about people ending pregnancies, like he called Future a deadbeat dad. I mean, called Future a deadbeat dad, and he said, I don't know, I can't remember what he said. You have to go back and listen to it. But the point is, these are people that you've been collaborating with for so long, but here you are being very mercurial, right? Very mercurial, very two-faced, giving very two-faced base with that Mercury in Virgo and harsh critique, right? Because we know Virgo can be very critiquing, it can be very exacting. And so here he is being super, super critical, right? And then he has Venus in Virgo as well, but I'm not going to talk about the Venus. I'm talking about Mercury, I'm talking about the Leo, and I'm talking about Jupiter all in the 10th. And again, what you'll be famous for. So whereas before he was known as this superstar, now he's going to be known as a chatty patty, right? That's what he's going to be known for in this 10th house is his conversation style. Um, what else did I find interesting? Oh, the 12th house. So the 12th house has to do with self-undoing, imprisonment. He has Libra there. Libra is associated with justice and the law, and 12th house is imprisonment. He made these calls whilst incarcerated. So there's that. So we can see the incarceration there in the chart. We know relationship, Libra has to do with relationships, right? Um, he was incarcerated because of his relationships with other people and the activities that he took part in with other people. So there's that. The 12th house is also about illusion and delusion. And to me, this is like him being delusional about his relationships that he has with other people and talking about other people, right? Just having this yeah, just like this kind of delusional people should do things for me. And if they don't, I'm gonna talk shit about them day after day after day after day, right? That's what we see. So I thought that was super interesting. What else did I find interesting? Oh, the moon, his Scorpio rising. So the first house is our rising sign. It's the sign that was rising in the sky when we were born. So he's got Scorpio there. And Scorpio can sting and Scorpio can be vengeful, right? And the moon, you don't always see it. You don't always see what the moon is doing. So this is giving very much like sleeping with the enemy, like 100%. Like you think you're with one person and then you find out, oh, they're sleeping with the CO. While I'm going to court and standing by you, and here you are, right? Because Scorpio can also has to do with sex. It can have to do with sex and sexuality and things like that, right? And woo, child, moon in Scorpio. And so the moon also has the final say. It is our primal dreams, it is our primal desires, it is our primal thoughts. And so here he is sharing all of his primal desires and all of his primal thoughts, right? Publicly on the phone. He has Pluto there also in the first house. The first house has to do with reformation, change, and transformation. And how you see yourself and the identity, that's the first house. And so we hear a lot about how he sees his self, right? As this superstar who everybody should want to work with. And if you don't want to work with him, you have a problem. Again, moon in Scorpio. But because of that, all that talking, now that Pluto, that transformation is transforming how people see him. Okay? His own undoing. What else is interesting? I think that's all I want to. Oh, Lord Jesus, how could I forget his Chiron in Leo? So, I talk about Chiron all the time. I think Chiron is a very important part of our chart. It's an asteroid, and Chiron is that primal wound, that wound that happens early. It is a generational placement. So, it can cover 2 years, it can cover 7 years, up to 7 years, right? Like right now, Chiron is in Aries for all of us, and it will be there until 2032. And so, Chiron and Aries in the birth chart, the wounding can be an identity crisis because Aries has to do with, again, how we see ourselves, like our self-image, our identity. And so having Chiron there, that primal wounding, that means in some way your identity was wounded at a very young age. And so those of us who are doing spiritual work, a lot of times, knowingly or unknowingly, we're trying to heal that primal wound. So he has Chiron in Leo. So again, that wounding is around, to me, this is where again you see that entitlement. Like everybody should want to work with me, right? But underneath it feels very fragile. It feels very, and I think the cards even said it. The cards were like, hater and again, that the tarot card that I pulled that I can't find now said insecure and childishness. And to me, that's that Chiron in Aries. It's like whatever that wounding was that happened, like he's trying to fill it, he's trying to heal it, he's trying to soothe it, he's trying to put a salve on it by being a superstar, by getting all of these, these famous people to do features with him, by having all of these women. To me, that's like just trying to feed that wound, that opening left in Chiron. Like, am I really a star? Do I really feel like I'm a star? I just need to sleep with all the bitches so that I can feel like a star. That's what I'm owed. That's what Chiron and Leo is giving to me. So we did Sun in Leo, we did Chiron in Leo, we did Jupiter in Leo. And again, Jupiter is just expanding all of that. Jupiter is just expanding all of that. The ninth house does have to do with spirituality and philosophy and religion. And that makes me feel like having Leo there. First of all, having so much Leo, you're going to be creative. You're going to have a lot of attention. And just think about, and this is for the rest of us when we look at our charts, how this energy could have been channeled in a different way. Like you've got all this Leo here. We know Leo is associated with the lion, the strength card in the tarot, a natural leader. Where's Aries? Speaking of leadership. Wow, interesting. So he's got a nice Aries as well. So he really could have been a contender. He really could have been quite strong having Aries in the sixth house of daily activities. Again, sixth house is associated with daily activities and daily habits and things like that. And he's got Aries there, which is like that divine spark. It can be the warrior for justice, the warrior for moving forward. But he decided to do something different with that energy, with that house. He decided to tap into that lower vibration of Aries, right? Like being, I mean, again, I'm not familiar with him, but just the way he talks, I can only imagine what he's talking about in his music, right? Again, just like squandering that gift. Um, when he could have been a leader and taken people higher. And maybe he still will. Who knows, right? Anything is possible. But I just wanted to hop on here and just talk a little bit about just some of the things that hopped out at me. Um, yeah, about it. So yeah, so we got the sun, we got Jupiter, we talked about Mercury, we talked about the moon, we talked about Pluto. I think, it's also interesting, though, I will say that he has Capricorn in the second house, and Capricorn is about resources and achievement, and second house can be about money and value and what we value. So it makes sense to me that he also would place a lot of emphasis on how things look. Now, I will go back to this Venus now in Virgo. I will go back to this Venus in Virgo. No wonder he called Glorilla ugly because Venus has to do with aesthetics. I am a Libra sun, and what's aesthetically pleasing, right? And beauty and harmony. And so I could see with him having this Venus in the sign of Virgo, which can be very critical, him being very critical about people's looks and him being very, and I feel like that goes back to that second house too, what he values, people being aesthetically pleasing, doing things for the look, no matter what's really going on, how things look is more important to him. And again, it's happening in Scorpio. So it would only come out in a phone call like this with somebody he trusts, or it would only, right? He's not going to publicly say how he really, really thinks about a lot of the things that he said on the phone, right? And I'd be curious to, hey, baby, you look like you're putting on a little bit of weight. I'd be curious to know how he talked about the women that he is in relationship with. I would be curious about that, like with that Venus and Virgo in the 10th house and that Capricorn in the second house. I'd be very, very interested to know, um, yeah, what kind of partner uh he would be uh verbally about what he feels like he deserves. He also has Neptune in Capricorn. So again, like a lot of things being held close to the vest. There's also something about, I keep saying I'm going to end it and I never do. Um, there's also something about this Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is the planet of karma, the planet of time. It is a humanitarian. Like, I'm sorry, Aquarius is a humanitarian. It's about the future, it's about the internet. Aquarius is associated with the internet. So it's interesting to me that, having Saturn there, karma, his undoing his undoing coming through on over the internet, I also find it very interesting. And because Aquarius is associated with humanitarianism and doing what's right, so instead of again talking about what's right and lifting people up, and also in your actions in the community, in communities that are struggling as well, like the type of imagery that you're putting out and the kind of messaging that you're putting out that could be lifting people up. Instead, you are at the lowest level. Saturn's going to make you pay for that. Saturn's going to make you pay for that. Yeah. All right. Now I feel like I'm good. Now I feel like ooh, what about that Uranus? No, I'm not going to go into that. Okay, that's it. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about my little breakdown here, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.